for greatness in a sea of the dying and shameless. A sea of the aimless. I don't wanna be one of the nameless. I'ma wake up with the mindset that one day I'm gonna make it. And I don't think I'll be fine if I don't break my limitations. Don't try to stop me, I exist to write my own story. I'll make a decision if I want some peace or if I want the glory. Yeah, don't want a life that is complacent or possibly boring. I just want a life that is worth every day exploring.
My whole life I just wanted someone who would notice me. My whole life I just wanted to be somebody to be. Yeah, I just wanna be great. 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 Yeah, I just wanna be great.
I am fired up and I am ready to talk some Detroit Lions football with everybody here on this Thursday. Really nice day here out in Holland, Michigan. My guy Ant-Man will be joining me when he is done being on a show that he's currently on right now, and then we'll get to talk a little bit about some Detroit Lions to get him perspective on what's been taking place, the latest regarding our Lions. Obviously, we have a lot of news with Sheila. We got some injuries. We got the game on Sunday. So there's a lot to talk about, and I can't wait to hear everybody's thoughts, his thoughts, your thoughts, and share you my thoughts on this. Chrome in the building, T-Money, Alex Kamara, Craig Ferguson, Gino, Brandon Kenny, Grandizer. Man, 9 drinks, my G right there, Craig Ferguson, Antonio Hightower. He's been doing a lot of stuff with his grandma. Paul Ginder, what is up, folks? Make sure you go ahead and hit that like button if you haven't done so. Subscribe if you haven't done so, and let's talk about it. So, we're going to go over the Sheila thing really quick. And I don't know what your guys' feelings are, but she came out yesterday a little over 3 minutes talking to the press, obviously regarding our team and the frustrations of being 1-5 right now towards this season. First off, I appreciate her coming out and speaking. That is something that her parents would not do. Interesting words that she was using about being patient. I think that sparked some controversy right there for sure. But she was very honest talking about this is a complete teardown. Now, Brad Holmes, when he came in, he says there's a retool, but let's be honest here, folks. We knew last year when they brought in Dan Campbell and they brought in Brad Holmes, we knew this is an epic teardown. Studs all the way down to the roots, trading your franchise quarterback, having a lot of dead cap from Quinn Trisha, players that we didn't want to have on this team anymore, so it was a complete and utter teardown last year. This year, a little bit different. I believe that the Lions should be better than where they're at 1-5, but she showed her frustrations, and, you know, she spoke something that, again, I was unexpected. I wasn't expecting. I don't think anyone was really expecting it. Yeah, I don't know what patience is anymore. Been doing this 60 effing years, says Mr. A. That's why I was like, yeah, the patience word. I think that was going to spark a little bit of controversy because a lot of fans has been fans of this team for a long time, like you, Mr. Ray, has been fans for freaking 60, 50 years, and they're tired of being patient. They just want to see victories. And all in all, look, if she came out or she didn't came out, she's damned if she do, and she damned if she don't. Was she trying to sell tickets? Probably. That's exactly what she was doing there. Another YouTuber saying that, Mobby. Go check him out. He made a video about it. And I agree with that there. And specifically the, saying this is a teardown, last year was a retool. That's not on the same page right there. But we are in a world of hurt, and this team's got to win. And the only way for it to be fixed is winning. So I don't care about stats anymore. I just want to see victories. And so I'm with you there. What do you guys think about Sheila Hamp coming out and talking? Did you think it was good, bad? Did you think it was ugly? Been a fan for 58 years. And I got to tell you what, if you're a Lions fan who, he gets criticized because you're negative, that's your opinion. Or if you're a fan who takes the hopium and you're always positive, that's your opinion. Everybody's got their opinions, and you have the right to feel whatever you want to feel, man. That's your fandom. That's your priority. I mean, we all have different feelings. We're all frustrated. Whether you are the Hopium fan, whether you are the same old Lion fan, we're all frustrated and we're all angry. And I think winning would solve everything. So hopefully we can get a win. Trade T.J. Hutchinson for O.J. Howard. I would trade T.J. Hutchinson for draft picks. That's what I would do if that is the something that, they're in there and want to do. We all heard in the past, thought it was for the show. I'm glad she came out. Yeah, I mean, look, I don't got no hate for it. Again, it was unexpected. I wasn't expecting it. Apparently, it's due to the Kyle Meinke article that he did with the Q&A mailbag. So that was interesting. Apparently, she reads everything. I wonder if she watches videos. And I see that's why it's important that I always have you guys put comments in the comment section, not when I'm on a live stream, but in videos, to express your anger or your concerns or your frustrations or your positivity. Maybe they read it. Apparently, she reads everything. So, I mean, it's you having your voice heard. That's all I say. Comment, comment, comment. I got this channel is for you guys. My opinion is not better than any single one of your opinions. It's not. It's just an opinion. John Ball, same opinion as mine. Craig Ferguson, your opinion, or my opinion's not better than yours. Paul, my opinion's not better than yours. Grant, my opinion's not better than yours. It's an opinion. It's not fact. It's an opinion. Do you think we should draft Will Anderson or Bryce Young? It just depends where we're at. If I'm sitting this is my philosophy and has been my philosophy since day one, is if you're the first pick in the draft, take the quarterback. That's what I do. If you're the first pick, that means you suck. Okay? Offensively, defensively, you're a terrible team. Just take the quarterback. And we can go over some stats about that here in a little bit. Now, I'm not trading. Look, Craig, love what Gino's doing over there, but I'm just, if we're going to go quarterback, I'd rather just draft my guy. In all honesty, I think that is the best way to go. But we like your opinions and news and rumors. Well, thank you, man. Thank you. I appreciate it. That's why I do this stuff. And, hey, if you like it, great. If you don't like it, great. That's what it's all about. Interesting how you guys talk about the draft. And so I want to do a little bit of research for you guys and see about the picks in the past for this team. For the first overall pick, what do teams do? What have the Detroit Lions done in the last freaking decade? So I went and I did some research for you guys to give you some analysis real quick. And so this is what I found out. So since 2009, and this is, I think, a little frustrating part for defense here. Since 2009 draft, we've drafted 24 defensive linemen, 18 defensive backs, 14 linebackers. That's the top three of the amount of players for that position. Defensively, 56 defensive players. And guess what? Our defense is still not good. Offensively, 12 offensive linemen, 11 running backs, 11 wide receivers, 8 tight ends, 3 quarterbacks since 2009. Total of 45. 1 kicker, 1 punter, 1 long snapper. That's interesting because the offense since 2009, generally in Detroit, has been pretty good. But the defense, unless it's 2014, has been absolute butt cheeks. But we've drafted more defense than offense. That tells you just got to draft right. It doesn't matter the amount of picks you throw at a specific group, a specific target. Like if you're targeting an edge or a linebacker, a lineman, you just got to get the damn pick right. Because we're putting a lot of capital towards defense this past, decade and a half, and the offense has been good. Now, we do first overall picks since 2009. 10 quarterbacks has been the first overall pick, 3 edge rushers, and 1 offensive tackle. So obviously that tells you that a lot of NFL teams would take quarterback at the first overall pick compared to any other position. And obviously it shows you the 3 most important positions on a team: quarterback, edge, and offensive tackle. And I think that's exactly what it is. So what this means is draft right. If you're going to go defense in a draft, get the right player. Get the right player. Don't just throw picks at a position. Get the right player. That's what you got to do. Find guys out there that can help this team out and draft right. You know, the inability to draft in the last decade and a half has hurt this team with the Jelani Tavais and the Tees Tabors. All these players we've went through multiple times. Kerryon Johnson's. That's what's hurt this team. So when Sheila Hamp was saying, we got to build this team through the draft, that was part of her talk. She's 100% correct. I cannot argue with that at all. She's 100% correct. And I believe in building through the draft. I think that's how you build your team. But you got to draft the correct players. So hopefully this rebuild, or in her, what's her exact word? She said, complete teardown. We get the right players, right? We get the guys like the Pascals who look really effing promising. Huge shout out to Brad Holmes on that pick. He looked real promising. That's the type of stuff you got to do in Detroit to change this thing around, is get the talent. And if you look at some of the picks that he has drafted, there's some promising players defensively, and it may not be a player he drafted like Okudah, but defensively, you got Joshua Pascal, you got Aidan Hutchinson, you have Malcolm Rodriguez, Jeffrey Okudah. They all look really, really promising. They look really good, promising Ali McNeil and Kirby Joseph. So there's some pieces here. We just got to keep building it, but get the right players and not draft position over and over again. We got to be able to draft a position and that player stay doing their thing. And that's that. And it's same with the offense. And that's why clearly you've seen this on this stat here. The Lions, since 2009, has drafted less offense and more defense, but the offense has worked out. It has worked out more, so you just got to be able to do that. Yeah, you know, Pascal, he's a player that we need right now. A guy that can help stop the run, aggressive on the line, could play edge and interior. I love what I saw from him from his debut, and I want to see it continue in this game against the Miami Dolphins. So let's talk about that right now. Good transition right there. The over and under is 51.5, and I'm going to take the over on this regarding this game, even though our offense has only scored 6 points in 2 games. If you look at the defense of the Miami Dolphins, they're in a world of pain right now due to injuries. So they have a lot of injuries over there. Their defense is 23rd in the NFL points allowed. They're 21st in the NFL yards allowed. Passing, they're 24th. You can pass on these guys. Their defensive backs are hurting. They're pretty good stopping the run. They're 7th. But we could put up some yards. And against, obviously, the Detroit Lions offenses took a hit the last couple weeks. But they're 9th right now in total points scored, 4th total yards, 9th in passing, 7th in rushing. The problem with the Detroit Lions and why we have been failing, why I've been losing, is there's a stat here you're not hearing about. And it's turnovers. The Detroit Lions are -6, 30th in the NFL. You're not going to win football games when you turn the football over. You're not going to win. Jared Goff, 6 turnovers last 2 games. Dan Campbell, he went for it 6 times in the New England, 0 conversions on 4th down. Those are turnovers. Now, that turnover stat does not count with it, but it's, obviously it's turnover on downs. So the Lions got to get better holding on to the football. And if you look at the Miami Dolphins, they're -2, so they're not that great getting turnovers, but they're not as bad. So I think the Lions are going to be able to put up some points. They're going to have an opportunity in this game. I think they're going to put up some points. I think the drought of the offense is going to come back alive a little bit, and obviously with the return of Amon-Ra St. Brown and DeAndre Swift, who is very important to this offense, is going to get this thing rolling again. Am I saying we're going to go out there and score 40? No, I don't think. I mean, they could, but I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that I think they're going to get back on track. Are they going to win the game? I still have my doubts. But I don't think they're going to get shut out. I don't think they're going to be bummed. And if so, then we need to really going into that ass of Dan Campbell, that ass of Ben Johnson, that ass of the offensive line, quarterback, running back, everything. If we can't score on this team, on the Miami Dolphins, if we can't get yards and we can't get points, we can't score, it is time to put our foots in that ass. I'm just saying, because this defense can be had. Go ahead and hit that like button right now. Let's get to 50 likes. We got 83 in the building for sure. Jonathan Anton says Payne would be a huge upgrade. I concur fully. 100%. And we got the trade deadline coming up. We can definitely talk about that here in a second. You know what? I'm going to just go ahead and just go to this and have this one get up here. I have them up so you can see some of your guys' comments for you guys. Oh, yeah, we got to get up in that ass. We do. If we can't score, again, if we can't score, I'm going to be mad. What do we got to pay attention to? Obviously, we all know this. Tyreek Hill, Jelen Waddle are speed. So this defense and Aaron Glenn has got to keep a safety back there. We got to keep the plays in front. I think in this case, bend do not break defense is important. Don't let them beat us deep. They're going to put up yards. They're going to put up a lot of passing yards, and that's what they're really good at. If you look at the offense of the Miami Dolphins, total yards per game, 10th in the NFL with 367. Points per game, though, is 19th. So, bottom third. So, we got to be able to be bend, not break. Passing yards, third in the NFL with 281. Rushing is butt cheeks at 29. They're going to pass. We can't let them score. Okay? We can't. Their run game sucks, and that's good. I think we're going to probably do a decent job, in all honesty, too, even if they were a pretty good run game with Pascal, the commission there, who I should have added is one of those guys who I really like on the defense going forward. We got to be able to do that. I don't like Jared Goff, but he balls when he has pieces, so draft defense. Just depends where we're at in the draft. Like I said, if we're the first pick in the draft, I'm going quarterback. If we get a win streak and, we're not, we're top 10, I'm going to probably just take, at that point, best player available defensively. It just depends where you're at in the draft. We got a lot of games to go. Would you draft a wide receiver? I'm not drafting a wide receiver early, Twan. I'll go ahead and just answer this right now. I don't mind drafting a late special teams guy, maybe kick return. I don't know. But in all honesty, we got Jameson Williams, and I'm gonna let Chark walk anyways, because we do got Jameson Williams at some point coming in here. I'm not gonna go ahead and draft a wide receiver. We got a lot of needs on this team. We need quarterback, edge, linebacker, definitely interior defensive tackle, kicker. I know a lot of people don't realize I think we do need kicker as well. So there's a lot of positions the Lions need. I agree, Mike. Anyone we trade by the deadline, if we do it at all, it needs to be draft picks. Rodsy, I have no problem doing that, because when you look at 1-5, do you think we're making the playoffs? No. What do you want to see when you're 1-5? Well, I want to see progression of young players. I don't feel we're making the playoffs, guys. I'm just being 100%. I'm going to be honest with you. You may feel that or you may think that, and perfectly fine. I mean, you have your thoughts, but me personally, I don't. So if they're wanting to trade away an asset to get draft capital, I'm all for it. But not just for anything, guys. I'm not going to trade away players just to trade away players. I want to get something back. Like, if you're trading away T.J. Hawkinson, I'm not going to trade him away for a third-round pick. Butt cheeks, I ain't doing that. I'm not going to just trade away a player, just trade away a player. I'm not the Carolina Panthers right now. We gonna sit there and do it the correct way, and not be ridiculous. Trade deadline. Let's go ahead and talk about that right now. We'll get into that because a lot of people want to talk about the trade deadline. Again, I haven't heard anything legitimate. There was ridiculous rumors. Mac Jones, I just laughed at that not happening. Brian Burns, apparently they wanted 2 first-round picks. There's no effing way the Lions do that. Not happening. And if they traded it and gave up 2 of our first-round picks for him, I would go find Brad Holmes and kick him in the nuts myself, because that's ridiculous when you're holding the first pick in the draft, and it looks like the Rams could be a bad team. We could probably end up getting a teen pick from them, so I don't think that's going to occur. Could we trade away a player? Possibly, but I haven't heard anything on it. Honestly, I have not heard anything definitive there or any legitimate rumor except for the same old stuff you hear. So I don't know. But if there were to trade for a player, it'd have to be young player, if you ask me. Someone that is young, not old. We don't need old veteran. We need young pieces. And specifically defensive tackle, I think probably would be the best position to trade for. Because I feel like that hole that Levi is missing, Levi and Wuzurike, you could be had with someone like a Daron Payne over there for the Commanders, or, a Derek Brown for the Panthers, something like that. But I'm not going to sit there and trade for a veteran wide receiver. Not going to happen. Trade away players, Patty Grimes says there. I'm all for it if the price is right. If the price is right, I'm for it, but not for anything. I'm not going to do that for anything, because that's not a smart move. Like we trade Darius Slay or a Quandre Diggs kind of for chips and dip. I'm not going to do that here. But if a team wants to give me a sufficient amount, you'd really have to consider it, like a late first round pick. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, their team, they seem like right now they have to do something, because 3-win team with Tom Brady, Taylor has been waived. Says Taylor has been waived. Who are you talking about, Taylor? I don't know what Taylor you're talking about. Are you talking about Demetrius Taylor? Let me see here. I'm trying to get my info up for you guys. That would be... Whoa! Breaking news! Well, holy shiz. Demetrius Taylor has been waived. Where is my breaking news thing? I got a... Holy crap, it just happened. Here it is, breaking news. Let me get this for you guys. Wow. Yeah, that's crazy. That is absolutely crazy. Demetrius Taylor waived by the Detroit Lions, folks. We have some breaking news. The Detroit Lions have waived young defensive lineman Demetrius Taylor. And who would have thunk that was to happen right now? Not me. Why the hell would they do that? I thought he was a pretty good player, unless they're making a move. I don't know. They're trying to get Brockers more snaps. No! I gotta say this. They better not be doing this to give Brockers more snaps. Lions waived Demetrius Taylor. Let me know in the comments section right now. Is this a smart move? Y for yes or N for no? I think no. I don't like it. If it is for Brockers to get more playing time, that is dumb. Michael Brockers has done absolutely nothing for the Detroit Lions. Let me know in the comment section. Y for yes, N for no. Or are they bringing somebody on? I don't know. But that is a bit of a pain in my ass. I got to change my thing here really quick. I got to change my thing, because I got to do breaking news that we have waived Demetrius Taylor. Good grief. You can't make this stuff up, folks. You can't make this stuff up. Bum, bum, bum. Let's see. And stupid. We got N. No, no, no. Brockers has been butt cheeks. Yes, no, no. Clearing cap space. Yo. What in the hell is going on? What did he do to get waived? It is a bummer. I like to know what this is for. If it is for Michael Brockers to get more playing time, that is garbage. Every time we cut a defensive player gets injured, we always sign someone for offense. Has to be a trade in place. Jonathan Anton says potentially trade in place. Tanking for Anderson, Patty Grimes. We're not tanking for... We suck because we suck. It has nothing to do with the tanking. Has to be a traded place, says Jonathan N. I don't know. Brockers needs to go. I'm with you, Robert Kramer. Why, John Ball? I don't know. I could not tell you why this occurred. Let me just put breaking. I got to do this. Breaking. So people can see it. Waived. Sorry, guys. I am shocking that this occurred. There we go. Demetrius Taylor waived. Is right. We stank. We don't need to tank. Demetrius Taylor waived by the Detroit Lions. What do you think this is for, folks? I got more grit between my butt cheeks than Danny Boy has between his nuts. Trade on. MicroMike reached 100 likes. Drop the boom. There we go. Will be balanced to get some water. Is this wave because they have something in place? Because it doesn't really make a lot of sense to me waiving Demetrius Taylor. Why would they do that one? Don't know. Let's see. Swift is always hurt. Lions fan is sitting on the electric chair. You know, the hurt is coming, but you have no idea when the big shock will hit you. Hey, that's a good one there for the electric chair. Let's see. We're not tanking on purpose. That is true. We are not. There is a couple captains that need to be cut. Michael Brockers. What was Taylor's stats? I don't have his stats up right now for you. I loved your passion today, Lewis Hamilton. Appreciate you hitting me on the Twitter. We got Sue. Sue ain't coming back, folks. He's not going to be here in Detroit, making room for our... I hope... No, because Jameson Williams is going to be back in another month. Is Taylor injured? I don't believe so. I've heard nothing on that for him of him being injured. I heard zero upon that. So I don't know. I couldn't tell you why. Tank for Williams out of ITT Technical Institute. If you got questions, throw it in the comments section. Can be clear waivers and he's signed to the practice squad and clear more cap space. Yes, potentially. If he clears waivers, you can sign him that way. Making room for Jason Kabinda. Ooh, interesting one there. I haven't heard an update on Jason Kabinda, Honolulu Blue Sparty. Potentially could be. I don't know. Ever wonder if Dan Campbell had a Roy Orbison butt cheek tattoo like Mr. Coach K. Klein? I don't know. Making room for Derek Brown, please. That would be ridiculous if that was the case. That would be nice. I don't know. Are the Lions trading for anybody? I have no idea. Lions maybe, but it is interesting that this happens right now because it doesn't make a lot of sense. And I got the breaking news thing pops up, so if the Lions were to do that, playoffs, no way, I agree. I don't think the Lions are going to the playoffs. Maybe he'll be back earlier than we have been saying. Oh, Jamison Williams will be back in about a month. I've been saying Thanksgiving for a while. That is the time that he's supposed to be coming back. Why didn't St. Brown come back and he didn't have a concussion? That's that new concussion protocol. Romeo, where the F is out now? Romeo, he is injured. If he comes back this season, that would be a positive. I'm not banking on it. Goff can't make all the throws to help Williams. Be patient until we get a real quarterback, says Scott Mack. Again, if you guys got questions, let me know in the comment section. Hashtag Lions, hashtag, and I will answer them for you. Again, breaking news, Demetrius Taylor was waived by the Detroit Lions while I was live streaming. That's why I just changed my headline from this. If there's anything that pops up for the reason why, I'll let you know. I'm consistently going back forward. Pride Detroit says the only rookie in draft that made the 53-man roster has been cut. We'll see if they're trying to bring him back on the practice squad if he clears waivers. So they don't even know if he clears waivers. 100% don't know that. Is that chubby four-eyed dumb? Oh, okay. I'm not going to get into that one. Bryce Young and J-Mo reunion coming. Hey, Borat, first off, I love the name. Shabil, I can't do it, but Borat, you know, the movie guy. Very, very funny. Thoughts on Dan throwing Goff under the bus? You know, here's the thing. I don't mind people taking criticism and criticizing, as long as you criticize yourself and you because he's made some dumb mistakes, Dan Campbell. If he criticizes himself, I don't mind him criticizing others. But if he criticizes others, look, Jared Goff has made some dumb decisions the last 2 weeks. Absolutely terrible. We all criticize him. But if Dan Campbell's going to criticize, he's got to criticize himself as well. It's like if you're making fun of somebody, I always make fun of myself before I just make fun of anybody. 100%. Hashtag FGB. If we trade Hawk, do you think should be a team outside our division? Absolutely, it should be a team outside the division. I don't want to see Hutchinson in Green Bay with Aaron Rodgers using him. I keep updating to see if anything else pops up again for why we released Demetrius Taylor. Kind of came out of nowhere. Were you supposed to be a guest at Woodward Sports this morning? I swore I heard you were on a special guest from yesterday's show. He generally, Adam will let me know if he wants me on, but I didn't get the email on that, so I don't know. Maybe he texted me and he'll let me know, but I didn't get that. Let's see. Goff has 0 completed passes that are 25-plus yards through the air. J-Mo not being healthy until Goff is out. Who do you think's going to win? Laughing my ass off. I have the Miami Dolphins winning this game 34-24. I did my breakdown video yesterday. I believe the Lions offense will pick up. You know, it's been soft the last couple of weeks. I think they'll pick up, but I think it's just a little too much. Miami Dolphins has got a really good offense. They can score with anybody, and it's going to be a problem. Even Dan Campbell's wife can vouch that all he thinks about is you guys. Oh, man. You guys are funny. Brockers needs to go. Has been a huge bust since his arrival. He hasn't done anything that suggests to me he's worthy to be starting or on this defensive line. He hasn't done anything. I get it. He's a good leader, but we need playmaking. We need playmakers. And the best defensive line performance we probably had all year was against Dallas with the combination of the Commish, Pascal, Aidan Hutchinson, and Lee McNeil. There's a guy that was not on there. Michael Brockers. Michael predicts 65. That's insane. I'm not going to predict that. That's high up there. You see us scoring 24 points? Yeah, I think that, look, you can score on the Miami Dolphins defense. They're not the greatest defense in the NFL. But I still got Miami winning. Hopefully they're trained for a detach because we're so weak up the gut. We are weak up the gut, but they're not good running football team. They're one of the worst running football teams in the NFL. Their rushing offense is 29th ranking in the NFL at 85.4. Players cut to put Jared Davis on the roster. That's interesting. That could be. What's up, Chris? Chef Chris Smith. What's up, my guy? Welcome to the chat. With the number 1 pick, which quarterback are you taking? I think Bryce Young has got that it factor. I understand he's a little bit undersized. I understand that, he's not that prototypical 6'5" quarterback or 6'4" big body. But, damn, he's got that it factor. And he does have connections to Jameson Williams and Amon-Ra St. Brown as they're in the same high school. So I would love that game-changing ability that he brings. I like C.J. Stroud, too. There is a concern, Ohio State, blah, 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 blah. But he is done pretty damn good over there. But, man, that Bryce Young, he looks pretty good. Hashtag Spash the Hole. Is there a cornerback that catches your attention? You know what? When it comes to cornerbacks in this draft, there is a lot of cornerbacks that I think you could look at for sure. And it just depends where you want to go, how early you want to take. Personally, look, I'm fine with taking a corner that you get up in free agency first, get a veteran guy, and then maybe take a corner in the second round or potentially late in the first round. There's a ton of corners in this year's draft that you can get that are pretty damn good. But you look at, we got Jerry Jacobs and Jeffrey Okudah. Don't know what they're going to do with the money. But you got Ringo, you get early. That's going to have to be an early one, though. I would probably wait a little bit. Maybe a guy like a Garrett Williams is there sitting in round 2, early round 2. I'm not sure what's going on with did Miami forfeit their late first-round pick? The result, would that be Lions then getting the 32nd pick, even though it would be the second round, first pick in the second round? Either way, there's some good corners there. You got Drains as well. Me personally, I think we should get one in free agency and then maybe draft one a little bit later. We are pretty good at developing young corners that we draft. I think that we kind of should go that route. If I missed your question, repost it for me. Just go ahead and just repost it, and I'll get to it. And I'm waiting for Ant-Man to get on. If Ant-Man gets on, great. If not, great. I know he's live right now, so he said he'll try to get on. Let's just not look at the draft to fix everything. Yeah, we got to add pieces to in free agency. But I do agree that you build the team through the draft, but I believe this year we do got to pick up a name in free agency, one or two. I think they should go for a linebacker in free agency and get a defensive tackle. I think it's really important. I've thought about doing live for the trade deadline 9 drinks. Let me know in the comment section, should I go live for the NFL draft trade deadline? Why for yes and for no? I may do it on my channel, may do it on LNU. I haven't really thought about it yet. It could be a bum where nothing happens. The trade deadline is not like other sports. It's generally pretty weak. And that's generally what it is. Don Burr, what's up? Don the Goat Burr, man. This is one of the goats of subscribers out there. Always repping Detroit, man. He says, breaking news, Goff has little hands. He does got some small hands. He's got those small hands. Should we take edge with a second-round pick? It just depends where we're. I think the Lions should take an edge significantly early, whether it be even in the first round. It wouldn't shock me if they took one in the first round. If they took one in the second round with the first that second pick, that's basically what, pick 33, whatever it is right now, depending on the Miami thing. I have no problem with it. We do need edge help. You'd like to have somebody complement Aidan Hutchinson and kind of really make that defensive line young. But I think more importantly for the defensive line, Chef, is we need to get a defensive tackle that can clog the middle. I think that really would help. Again, if that be in free agency or the draft, either way, I think That's really, really important for the Lions to get that. You know, that Levi Onwuzurike injury really hurt this defensive line. I think they counted on him and it ended up being a bust, and it's hurting Detroit. So if we can get a young guy in there to help out, significantly will help out, in all honesty. Let's all chip in, and boy, Dan Campbell, a copy of Coaching for Dummies. A lot of people are upset at Dan Campbell, so I'm going to do a quick poll here. Do you approve? What is your grade of Dan Campbell's job performance right now? A, B, C, D, or F? Spam the comment section with A, B, C, D, or F, and we'll get back to the questions. I'm curious to see what you think on this one. Me personally, when I think of Dan Campbell right now, I got to give it a D. I'm not on the fire train right now. I think it's a little too early. I think he does deserve blame. He's made some absolute mistakes, for sure, but it's not all him. So we got D, C, D, D, C, D, B, C, 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 D minus, C, C, D, C, D, 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 D minus, plus it's a tear down, rebuild, D. So a lot of people are on the same page here in the comment section. A lot of people, we got C minus, D plus, generally in the same area right there. Generally in the same area. I can't argue with any of that. B minus, the guy has heart. He does have heart. I think for him, he's just got to get wins. He's learning on the job, unfortunately. Someone's texting me while I'm talking. A strong F. Combat sack 6. Combat sack is straight up in there. 2 incoming. A big D, a strong D. Okay, y'all want that one. I seen it.
I'm giving her a D, man. A strong D.
All right, I got my man Ant-Man on. What's going on, Ant-Man?
Hey, Mike. How's things?
Pretty good. Ant-Man, we sit there and we released Demetrius Taylor.
Yeah,
Thoughts?
Matt just very gleefully announced it to me on our stream, and the words I can't repeat out my mouth. So I am, as the British would say, I'm peeved. Very, very, very peeved. Demetrius Taylor has done nothing wrong so far. He's not been given an opportunity in this team to come in and really make much of an impression. I mean, you know, I've seen some people saying he's not really done much right, but I mean, he's an undrafted free agent. To make a roster as an undrafted free agent, you've got to do some stuff right. Got to have some belief in you. You know, team's got to have some belief in you to give you one of those coveted roster spots. And for him to keep it for, 8-9 weeks of the season that we're in so far, and he's just been released. Meanwhile, there are scrubs like Austin Bryant and Julian Okwara who have not recorded pressures since week 2 and week 3, who are meant to be rotational depth guys on this D-line, sat there earning money, doing nothing for this team, and they get to stay. It blows my mind at this point. You are not going to get anything out of those two that you have not already seen. They have shown that inconsistency wins the day. The bright sparks are just that, sparks, where occasionally they do something not good enough. Not good enough for this team, not good enough for us. They should be the ones getting their asses canned, not Demetrius Taylor.
It pisses me off a little bit that some of the subscribers in here saying it could be for more time for Michael Brockers. If that's the case, I'm going to be pissed off. He has not earned that time. Okay, we need to have players and young players. When you're 1-5, that's what you got to do here, folks. You got to let the young players play, and Michael Brockers has done nothing but stink on this defensive line. And if that is the case, this reminds me of Kyle Vanden Bosch when we had Jim Schwartz at last year in Detroit with Kyle Vanden Bosch, where you're playing a guy who's washed at this point. Do you think they're potentially making a move? Because why are they doing this unless they're making a move?
Unless I see the words James Houston elevated as a result of this, I'm going to be pissed. If James Houston is coming up because of this, I can deal with that. Because, again, another young, talented guy who they've kept around, they've been developing him. maybe he could come in up in the rotation and do something. But at this point, your young players are the ones playing best on this team. Like you said with Brockers, your vets have been scrubs. They're not giving you anything, whereas your young players are coming in, putting everything on the line for these opportunities. So again, I don't get why he's gone. It's, you've not given him a chance on the field. And like I say, you don't give him a roster spot unless you see something there with him. So unless this means another younger guy's going to come up and they're going to rotate them around, because I would assume Taylor makes it back to the practice squad and they keep him there and keep developing him or whatever. But whilst I see guys like Brockers, Aquara and Bryant on this team contributing nothing to it, and our young players getting tossed aside for it, that ain't progress forward. That's sticking with the chafe. That's sticking with the dead weight, sticking with the barnacles on the bottom of your boat. Don't want that for this franchise. I'd rather put the young guys in, give them some extended snaps, and see what they can do. Let's just not have the same old stuff all the time.
What's up, my man? Initial thoughts?
About Demetrius, it's gutting, isn't it, for him? I mean,
You got to be a little bit louder, man. I barely hear you.
sorry, man. Yeah, just gutted for Demetrius. He has tried so hard to get on this team. And, I mean, maybe he's not getting it done in practice. We ain't privy to that stuff. But there's so many guys, as Ant has eloquently said, not pulling their weight. And like you just said, Mike, about Brockers, I mean, just cut the man. Like, what veteran leadership is he bringing? Is the team any better for him being on it? I know we don't get much back in cap, but who cares? Let's play the youth if we're going to be this terrible. At least we can say, like last year, oh, well, it's a very young team. We don't even have that excuse right now because we're playing veterans who don't deserve to be here.
100%. And like I said, when you're 1-5, why aren't you playing the younger players anyway? So unless it is for James Houston, or some other younger player, I'm gonna be pissed off about it. I think it was a stupid move, and I better not see Brockers out there getting playing time, man, or I'm gonna be mad. Do you think potentially could be for a trade? You know, you gotta remove a player to have a person coming to Detroit. Do you think that's possible, Matt?
I've just realised that it's the wrong blooming thing that's there, so you should be able to hear me better now, hopefully.
Good.
No, I don't think it's for a trade. We haven't got the cap to justify a trade. We're going to have to push even more cap into next year to do a trade, which means it's even harder to be relevant next year. It's more than likely to sign someone off our own practice squad or to sign a free agent off the practice squad. It's one of those two things. And someone rightly said in your chat, we don't have a kicker on the active roster right now. Now, I think Badgley does have one more elevation left, but maybe a kicker's being signed. And you know what? That would be gutting for Demetrius Taylor to be cut for a bloody kicker. Oh, my God.
They can't do that to this man, dog.
Disrespect.
They can't do this to this man, bro. They can't, man. Oh God. What do you think? What do you think it's for there, Ant-Man? You know, do you think it could be for a kicker? Do you think it could be for a trade?
I would like to think it's for a trade, but it's probably not. I would like to think they're scouring the trade market looking for somebody to bring in, because Lord knows we need some veteran talent on this team that's good. But, you know, as Matt says, the cap situation's not the greatest. I mean, if it's someone on an expiring contract, you can always kick the can down the line, because we do have contract room coming up in the next few years. But it does feel like it's an elevation. And you know, Campbell very specifically said the other day he wants Jamar Jefferson back on the team. He wants James Houston back on the team. So is it kind of just making room? Because at the minute, with Pascal back, there are a lot of guys on that defensive line. Maybe they'll shore up another room, the running back room. Maybe put another guy in there, make a bit more depth. You know, we got Jamal and Craig, but you know, maybe get some more depth in there. Maybe get some more depth on your rotational edges. Maybe Houston will come up and get an audition to get more snaps than Austin and Julian will, because damn well it shouldn't take much for him to do that. So it does feel like an elevation more than a trade, but I hope that Brad Holmes is looking for a trade. You can't stand pat with this team and the lack of talent on it just till the draft. It ain't going to work.
So you want to make a trade. So if you're...
Yeah.
What players would you like? Obviously, Matthew disagrees. I'm more of I should be in the middle because, on all honesty, it just depends what it is. So, who would you trade for at least, or what position would you trade for? What would you give up if you are Brad Holmes?
I mean, everything's relative. I say I want to trade, but I would only want to trade if the value is right, as you say. I don't want to go overpaying anybody, or we're not in that. We don't have the draft capital really and the space to make foolish ones. But I mean, there are guys out there. You look, Jerome Payne is available from Washington. A defensive tackle. You really want to spice up your interior defensive line, put him in there. Now, put him in with McNeil while you've got, your rotational guys coming back. Pascal's on the edge. Aidan's performing well on the edge. Hopefully, Charles Harris is going to be back in a uniform at some time soon. Give up a pick for Jerome Payne if it's a day 2-1, fine. But all of a sudden, your defensive line's a lot nastier, a lot meaner. He's young, still on a rookie contract. Has proven production in the NFL, which is what we need on this team. And Brad Holmes is a trench guy. He's drafted a lot of these guys to perform on the trench here. And with no Levi for a second year, there's a big gaping hole there now. So why not go and spend your next second round pick or third round or whatever on a guy who's proven and done it in the league and doesn't have the injury history concerns? So I'd certainly be putting my name in the hat for him. Would he come here? I don't know. But at least make a call. Brad Holmes has to be at least making calls for most of the positions we have to see what is available. Because you know what he's like at the Rams, right, Mike? He doesn't really care about the draft picks. If he feels like the value is out there and the player is good enough, he'll go and get them. But there are players out there. But like I say, Payne would be at the top of my shopping list because that completely revitalizes your D-line in one fell swoop. And that's where he preaches where his teams are built and made.
Let's go ahead and get to 75 likes. Free to do so. Helps out the channel. Right now we're at 58. I think we can get to 75. Smash that like button. Matthew, would you trade away players?
I would trade away players. Absolutely. There's several players that I think have value to prospective teams. And I mean, right at this point, can anyone say that there's a greater than 2% chance we make the playoffs here? Because it's all well and good winning games, but if you're not making the playoffs, it feels a bit hollow. So who's going to be out there who might have some trade value? I mean, Amani Oruwariye has to be at the top of that. He's a guy who, had some really good pedigree last year. He outperformed a lot of expectations from a lot of people, myself included. I was convinced he was a bad player. And to be honest, this season has convinced me again that he is. But because of that production last year, I think teams could be fooled into thinking that he has something to salvage. I think he could get back a 4th-round pick, potentially, which is, I think, slightly higher than what we used on him. So, maybe we get a little bit of value there. The other two are just painful for the Lions to absorb, but I think it's something you have to consider. One's TJ Hutchinson, and I know that Pride of Detroit had a really good piece on this, but He's someone who, at the end of the day, doesn't play in the receiving game here. Like, he had one game where he did really well, but in the last couple of years, we don't throw him the ball. When he does, he catches the ball and falls down. There's so little yak involved, despite the fact he's quite athletic. And he's a conveyor belt of a tight end when it comes to the blocking game. I don't want him here. He could he could get back a low second, maybe a high third. Anyone wanting more than that is dreaming, unfortunately.
I'll
dream. I'd love a first. Come on, let's get it all.
Yeah.
I want 2 firsts for TJ, but it's not happening.
I'll take 5 firsts for TJ. Let's go. Let's get 5 firsts for TJ. Hell yeah, man. I'm all for it. I'm all about raping people. In draft picks, not in real life. Come on, guys.
No. And the other guy is Swift. The other guy's Swift because he actually is a productive back when he's on the field. Now, Jeff Risdon on his own podcast has said, people aren't going to trade for him because of his injury history. I am not convinced that everyone in the NFL has the same view. I think a lot of people are going to be put off by that, but some people believe, in spite of all the evidence, that someone can stay healthy, So I think someone could be persuaded into a pick for him, but I don't think you're going to get any better than a third for him because of his injury history. And quite frankly, I'd rather keep him if that was the best compensation you can get. That's why I end up thinking he's not going to go, because no one's going to offer enough for you to get rid. I don't actually mind trading for one person in particular in the incoming side of things, and that's Jerry Tillery. Now, I know that Tillery for the Chargers interior defensive line. Another position, as Ant has just said, that we should potentially look at trading for. He's not the best run blocker in the world, but he has a good amount of pass rush upside. He's been on a reasonable Chargers defense that's had some good coaching. I think he could come in here, take Brocker's spot, and provide Aleem a partner that can actually have a good 1-2 punch on that interior, and I don't think he'd be particularly expensive.
What about you there, Ant-Man? Would you trade away players on the current roster?
I'd certainly trade Amani. If you've no intention of paying him, then you trade him, because I'd rather get picks for him now, go through the season with the younger players, and have something to show for it in the next draft. I don't want to lose him for free next year. And, I don't think anyone's going to pay him enough to make it worthwhile in the comp market that we might do better. So, if you're not going to keep him, trade him, get rid. Outside of that, no, I'm not really, because the guys I'm most annoyed at the minute are our vets. No one's going to trade for our vets. I mean, seeing what you've got with TJ at the end of the year, you have availability on his contract to your favor. We don't have to trade him now. We can wait, see if we can get a good second half of the season out of him. We've still got the fifth-year deal next year. DeAndre, I mean, you're paying him $2 million next year, even if he plays half his games. If he plays the way he knows we can, then he's providing more than $2 million worth of value to your team in what you're going to get out of him. So I ain't trading him away yet either. I think for me, it's just seriously the guys who are coming out of contract who you're not going to re-sign. Because someone will want Amani. Someone, I reckon, will give a day 3 pick for him. I'd sooner have that day 3 pick than nothing at year's end.
Someone says trade Levi for a pillow. That's Don Burr. That was funny. Missed that one, Doctor. There, y'all come up with some funny stuff. Someone says that my name says y'all idiots. Apparently we're dumb. That's all good. He says Lions fans are morons. Y'all want to trade our best players. It makes no sense. Who's trading Michael Brockers is the best player.
Trading Amani's our best player?
Trading Amani, who is not our best player, to trade him away.
Our best players are mostly rookies. And
yeah,
we ain't
I not trade away our best players. It's rookies as our best players.
I can see someone trying to make the case that Hutchinson is one of our best players, but if you are trying to make that case, you haven't been watching TJ Hutchinson play the last 18 months. And you're just going off what happened in his second year. He had a bad rookie season. He had a good second year. He had a bad third year. And he's having a bad fourth year. He had one good game this year. But have you seen him hold every damn time he tries to block on passing sets? Have you seen him try and chip anyone and just miss completely? Have you seen him block people into your quarterback? What are you doing? I can't stand it. I can't, man.
Yeah, I think, too, we have a lot of help that we need on defense, and a tight end's a luxury pick. TJ Hawkins is more of a luxury pick. We're not using him as much as we probably should be, in all honesty. I'd love to see him be used more, but it's just not occurring right now. And what the hell? We got Speak Easy, baby. Speak Easy, baby. What's up, man? Speak Easy in there. He says, what in the F is this? Hey, man. What's going on? Make sure you guys check out Speakeasy. They're going to be live here in a little bit in the Woolworth Heavy Dates. Their stuff is funny. All I got to say. These guys, Spencer, Rax, and you got Speakeasy. Those guys are hilarious. You got to subscribe to their channel. Just like you got to subscribe to Roar of the Lions UK's channel. Their content is absolute fire. They had 2 lives today. College and doing the breakdown of the game. Working their asses off. And I love it when they work that ass off very hard. And that's good to do. I got to ask you something. We got a game Sunday. Who do you got winning, Matthew?
I have the Dolphins, but not as badly as you do. I've got 45-20. And this is just one of those games that's going to get away from us very, very quickly. The only shot the Lions have is to get ahead early, pound the rock, don't let Miami have the ball. And I just don't think it's going to happen. I can see a kind of end of the third quarter score of like 38-6, and then maybe we win the fourth quarter 14-7 or something like that. But it's going to be ugly. Our DBs just can't hang with their wide receivers, and Tua puts the ball in harm's way a lot. He had 4 dropped interceptions, and they should all have been picked against Pittsburgh. And Pittsburgh have better DBs than we do. I mean, I just don't see it happening. If we can pick the ball off, we can stop their drives in their tracks, maybe we have a chance. But, good luck if you think Will Harris is catching a ball. Come on, guys.
What do you got, Ant-Man, for this game on Sunday?
I'm not going to diverge from my opinions on the LNU thread the other day. I truly and utterly believe that for this season, this game is our Alamo. This is last chance saloon here. This is where your backs are up against the wall. You are at home against an offense which people claim is explosive, but you saw what the Steelers did. Soon as you stop that run game, it becomes bang average. Some might say just ordinary, plain. That defense, it was all right, but Matt Canada's offensive scheme is the worst in the NFL by a long margin. I see an eminently beatable team here. We're at home. Our backs are against the wall. This team needs to regain its pride. It's its last chance to really do anything this season before it all goes down the pan. I think the Lions are going to come out fighting, and I think we're going to win. So I'm going to stick with that. It's more in hope than expectation, but I truly believe this is the last chance saloon for anything serious this season before we just start going through the motions. And, it's 1 week here, the games come. So I'm betting Lions win.
I'm with you. It's the Alamo. For me, this is the Alamo game. You have to come out and win, or it's really going to get bad here in Detroit. I think the Lions do lose, though, 24-34, 10-point victory for the Miami Dolphins. Their firepower is just a little bit higher. I believe they're a little bit higher. Tua can put up some points, so we'll see. I hope I'm wrong. I hope Ant-Man's right. We need to win. We need to win bad. I want a victory. Victory Monday is better than Moral Victory Monday, which is better than Mock Draft Monday. And that's what we're used to here in Detroit, talking mock drafts by the end of October. That sucks. It does suck. 18 more likes to 100. If you ain't smashed that like button, go ahead and do so. How do you upgrade? You go to the join, and I think it says upgrade. That's what you do there. That's how you get this thing going there. We got 33-16 Fins. Lions 38, Dolphins 31. Good luck catching Tua. That's the thing. He running out of the pocket. Damn it. I don't want to see that. I got to ask you a question, Matthew. Are the subscribers and YouTubers the problem why the Lions are a bad football team? Are we the problem? Are the fans the problem why the Lions are bad?
Short answer, no. Long answer, no. I don't know. Okay, so the Lions have their fair share of toxic fans, right? The guys that come out the doldrums after 1 or 2 losses and give it all the toxic stuff. I mean, frankly, they're going before the season started, which is a shame. But, then some of the evidence comes out. This team isn't quite as good as we thought, and it's dire sometimes. But you do get the odd person then who comes out and says the Lions don't deserve to have a winning team because the fans don't deserve it because they're toxic and they're horrible people. It's not true. The majority of Lions fans are reasonable, nice people. I've been to Detroit. I've met MicroMike. I know that the Detroit faithful are reasonable people who care deeply and get hurt when the Lions lose. And sometimes they lash out because, you know what? Day after day, game after game, we know that we're supporting a franchise that's lost so much that we rightly earn and wear proudly the badge of losers. But you know what? We're good people and we stick by this team. We're still here. I'm still here. And this team will turn it around eventually, but not today.
I gotta say something. It must be me and Ant-Man's been a Lions fan longer than you because we both don't have hair. Our hairlines is moving backwards each year. So if you keep being a Lions fan, you're gonna look like us. Ant-Man, are the Lions fans, the YouTubers, the commentators, are we the problem why the Lions are not a good team?
Absolutely not, Mike. You know, we're top guys, aren't we? You know, we all get on. You know what? You know what would make us bad fans, Mike? Which would make us responsible for this? If we sat here on a weekly basis and accepted what's going on around us. If we didn't get angry, you know, everyone gets on at us for complaining or moaning or pointing things out. If we truly didn't care and were part of the problem, we'd just be like, yeah, it's fine, whatever. This season's gone. Let's wait till next year. Let's go. You know, we get annoyed, we get angry because we want better for this team. We want it to be a team that goes into the postseason, plays games in December that mean something, because we're going to go through another December without that again. You know, we're not the problem. We're very passionate about what we do, and we want to see this team go forward. That's why we get angry. That's why we get mad. The day you stop getting mad or stop getting angry, then that's when you become, well, I guess they would say lionized, but that's when you become part of the problem, is when you stop caring. So, no.
We're not Rams fans. I mean, come on.
Not.
Like, all I got to say is, man, we got 200 in here. I tell you what, I don't think we're the problem, but I tell you what, I think we love pain. I think we love being a dominated and dominatrix type of style going on here. Because being a Lions fan is very painful, okay? We love putting our teeth on a curb. We love taking naps on a railway. We love smashing our face on the pavement. All of us love pain. When we do win, though, guys, it's going to be glorious. It's going to be glorious. But no fans.
Hey, Mike, I tell you what, Mike. I look back to that LNU stream post the Washington game, and I love it. We were all happy and smiling. We just kicked Washington's ass. That's what we want. That's what we want to be again. I love that show more than like any other we've done this year, because we got to be happy. Since then, what have we had? I don't like doing this. You know, I'm a positive. Matt will tell you, I'm a positive person, and I have just gone off the rails recently. It's, you know, I don't want to be like this. I don't want to be like this. I don't want to be talking draft all the time. I want to be talking wild cards and playoffs and kicking the Bears' ass and kicking the Packers' ass. That's what I want to talk about.
And I must say, I do enjoy talking trash about referees. I can't stand refs. It does feel good.
Yeah, we need some competent ones this weekend.
Yeah.
Because last week's were...
For F's sake.
Even by ref standards, they were bad. Clint Blakeman would have been an improvement on last week. And I never thought I would say that as a Lions fan for the rest of my life, ever.
I just wanted to mention that Washington game, by the way. While you were here lapping it up on the stream, I was watching the updates through ESPN on my phone come in as I was doing a hike in Yosemite. I was dancing through, not looking at the hills and spectacular things, but I was seeing Washington come back and losing my freaking mind, going, what is happening with this game? And then we pulled it out, and I was delirious with happiness. I didn't have a car in Yosemite, no hotel room, no car. We'd ran a flat and it got towed away. And I was deliriously happy that the Lions had won a game. And what a good time that was. Yeah, the refs screw us. When Mike said about dominatrix style, I was like, man, I really hope the refs don't have stilettos or this could get properly kicked.
Oh, I'm just glad I'm not in a prison, man. Like in you know, when you're taking a shower, because being a Lions fan, it's like dropping the soap on a consistent basis in there. Exactly what it was.
Oh man.
Oh man, it's tough being a Lions fan. But folks, I appreciate everybody hanging out. We're gonna get up off here on Sunday. Are you guys live watch party too?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Make sure you go check them out. Make sure you check them out, Live Watch Party. I'm sure I'll go ahead and troll them again in there like I always do. Send some of my subscribers in there, show them some love. When you're doing a live watch party, you're literally seeing somebody's soul get ripped out of their body live. So give them some love. It's tough, man. It's tough. You know what you're thinking in your head? This is what I'm doing. Every F word, every cuss word in my body wants to come out. And sometimes it slips when I'm doing a live watch party because I get so pissed off. It's tough, man. So make sure you check these guys out. Subscribe to the channel. Grandizer's got it right there. Roar the Lions UK. Subscribe to these guys' channel, man. They got some fire content. They do. And I'll be live on my channel too, live watch party. Anything else you guys got to say?
All good.
Just please win this weekend, Lions. For the soul of us all, please win this week.
Win!
How cathartic would it be to actually win this game? Sorry, just to chime in at the end. Like, can you imagine actually winning this game? I haven't actually thought about winning this game. What happens if we win this game? What are we going to do? Like, I will just sit in my chair going, did that happen?
I will praise the gods. I will praise
I've got some beard glitter here at home. I will glitter my beard up and I will do all sorts of stuff. I will just go crazy. Yes. I will embarrass myself for the sake of everybody.
If we win 3-2, I'll go crazy. I don't care. Just a win. But I don't care how it happens. 2-0. Win. Win, baby. Come on, folks. We need a win, right? Meow.
Searching for greatness in a sea of the dying and shameless, a sea of the aimless. I don't wanna be one of the nameless. I'ma wake up with the mindset that one day I'm gonna make it, and I don't think I'll be fine if I don't break my limitations. Don't try to stop me, I exist to write my own story. I'll make a decision if I want some peace or if I want the glory. Yeah, don't want a life that is complacent or possibly boring. I just want a life that is worth every day exploring.
My whole life I just wanted someone who would notice me. My whole life I just wanted to be somebody to be. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna